Have you ever wished that you had a superpower that allowed you to understand people's thoughts without them saying a word? Well, today we're going to go over a skill set that comes pretty close, and that is reading body language. There's this quote that's always stuck with me, and the quote is, "Your actions speak so loudly that I can't hear what you're saying." I've always really liked this quote because 55% of our communication is nonverbal. It truly is what we're doing and not what we're saying. And so today, I have 5 tips for you that are going to help you utilize that 55% that you might be missing. So tip number 1 is going to be leaning in versus leaning away in a conversation. If somebody leans in or turns towards you during a conversation, this means that they are very interested in what you have to say. And I'm sure you've had this happen in the past. An example of this would be bringing up somebody's favorite TV show, band, or favorite sports team. When you say that one thing that someone is extremely interested in, you'll notice that their attention snaps onto you and they light up with intrigue. And the exact opposite is also true. If you happen to say something that someone disagrees with, even slightly, they may jokingly turn away from you. If you really want to test the waters, try bringing up something very polarizing, like having a love for a very strange type of food. For example, you could say that you have a love for sushi, specifically octopus. Most people either love or hate seafood, so this will give you that leaning body language nearly every single time. Tip number 2 is when somebody is resting their head in their hand. This gesture is typically seen when giving someone a compliment or making a deep personal connection about something that is very near and dear to you. An example of when you would see this body language is when you share a story about family, pets, or something that is very personal about yourself. Tip number 3, and this might be my favorite tip on the entire list, and that is crossed arms versus open arms. If we see someone with their arms crossed, obviously that means that they're being closed off. However, did you know that you can get someone to open up to you just by giving them a hug? The reason behind it is because psychologically, it's extremely awkward to be hugged while your arms are crossed. They may even be reluctant at first to hug you back, but they will typically do it with a smile and then be more willing to talk about whatever's bothering them. Another one of my favorite tricks with regards to getting someone to open up is if you're ever on a date sitting across from someone and you know that they are very anxious or very nervous. You can do this trick in a very sneaky way by asking to see someone's nails, or if they're wearing a watch or a bracelet, asking if you can check it out. If they have their hands down in their lap, it forces them to bring their hands out onto the table into an open position. This is also a great way to establish touch and get someone to trust you and feel way more relaxed on a date nearly instantly. Tip number 4 is when someone tilts their head to expose their neck. This is one that you will typically see in women, and that is that they will tilt their head when they are listening intently. Sometimes they'll even brush their hair out of the way as well. This body language gesture is a strong subconscious indicator that they are mesmerized by your presence and have completely let their guard down. The neck is one of the most important body parts that we protect for survival. So by exposing it, we're showing extreme trust, respect, and attraction for someone. So if you're talking to someone and you see them do this, they might just like you. And lastly, we have tip number 5, and that is when somebody is playing with their hair or fidgeting with jewelry or zippers. This behavior is often seen when someone is flirting or feeling very nervous around someone that they like. We subconsciously gravitate towards moving things or fixing things to try and appear as more interesting. We do this to try and pull the attention away from our face and away from our voice. By using our hands to move things on our body, we're attempting to get the person that we're talking to break eye contact with us, or at least give ourselves an excuse to look away from them. You can probably think back to times where you've caught yourself doing these behaviors, where you've been seemingly looking through a backpack for nothing, or taking multiple sips from a water bottle that was empty. With the water bottle, you might be trying to take sips when it's basically gone, or you just can't help yourself but click the lid over and over again. And believe it or not, these fidgeting type behaviors can also be used to your advantage. We can use these subtle behaviors to bring attention to things that we want someone to look at. For example, in men, you will often see them fix the cuff of their sleeve or wipe their chest. And for women, they will typically touch their necklace or they will play with a zipper on their jacket. Also, in a gym setting, women will subconsciously touch their collarbones or wipe their hands on their hips to do the exact same thing. And if you didn't know that, now you know. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see a part 2, let me know in the comment section below, and also be sure to join our Discord to join the community. And as always, thanks for watching.